Okay, so here's my sketch. Here's the still life. You're gonna start with your basic colors just like you did with the flowers. So this orange is a lot more orange than this one. So I'm gonna start with a darker orange. And then this one I'm gonna start with a lighter orange. And then I will go back in and add the green here. I'll start the apple with yellow. I'm not sure about the knife yet. That's gonna, metal's hard as well. I'll start this with some tan, the mug with some tan colors. So let's, I'm using oil pastels because I'm tired of color pencils. So you can use whatever you have, but remember to shade in the direction of your object. So if it's round, you're going to shade it in a round pattern. You are not going to just start scribbling all over it just to get it covered, because then it will look less realistic. Okay, so I'm going to put you back in time lapse, and just notice here that I made that little spot here, so I know that that has to be green and that those little lines come out. And I did the same thing where the stem of my apple is over here. Okay. Okay guys, so these oil pastels aren't very good. They're more like crayons and they're not mixing very well. This is what I have at home, so that's what I was using. So I'm going to go back to color pencils and do the mug and the apple and this orange in color pencil. Okay, artists, so this was where I started with the oil pastels and realized they weren't very good, so then I went to colored pencils. But then I didn't really have the right colors of colored pencils to make the mug, so I started working on that, and then I decided that this is just not working for me. So, good lesson here. It's okay if you mess up. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to, now I added, taking the mug out, I have the two oranges, the plate, the knife, and the apple. So I'm going to go back in and sketch where the knife would be, where the oranges are, and then I will shade that in time lapse and show you the final with the idea that Cezanne uses these darker outlines in his stuff to define. But remember, when you're picking objects, you're looking for the basic shape of them. So my oranges are going to be this oval shape. That's what Cezanne did. He looked for basic shapes and recreated those. And then with the colors and the way he painted with his brush strokes is what makes them look more realistic and stylized. Okay, so this is going to be a very good lesson in the fact that this Flechier is having an off day and isn't doing such a fantastic job of drawing. So I worked through this. I ended up taking the knife back out because I knew I wouldn't be able to go over top of it, the plate that I had already drawn. So I somewhat saved this drawing and I learned a lot in the process. The one thing that I want you to focus on now is that I'm taking a darker color, and this is like a violet color, and I'm going back in to this orange and I am outlining it, which is what, if you look at Cezanne's still lifes, you will see that he does that. And I didn't want you to jump right to black, but start with a lighter color first and then add your black into it. As otherwise it'll look just like a real, like you outlined it with a marker or something. So this orange is a little sad looking. I thought it looked more like a tomato most of the time, but I did the best I could. Color pencils aren't my thing, and it may be your thing. So keep at it. Don't give up. I did not give up. I got frustrated, but I did not give up. So after you're all done shading everything, don't do this until you're done shading everything, and then you can go back in and outline it. So these are just the finishing touches. If I were really going to be making this drawing for somebody or some to sell or whatever, I would definitely go back and add in a background, finish up the table, erase the sketch lines, all that kind of stuff. But since I'm just doing this as an example for you guys, I'm just slightly finishing it. Okay. So visit me on Zoom if you have any questions. I hope that you were able to try this lesson, and remember to reduce your objects and your still life to basic shapes, okay? Round plate, round apple, oval, oval, oranges. And I could keep working on this for a very long time because every time I look at it, I see something that I want to fix, which is fine. Take your time. Sometimes you need to walk away, and I think this is about the time that Ms. Flechier needs to walk away from this drawing so that I can look at it with fresh eyes. So, and if that happens to you when you're getting frustrated with your work, that is okay. Not everything has to be a masterpiece, okay? And this certainly is not a masterpiece, but I tried. Okay, make sure you add your shadows. Okay, have fun. Be Cezanne. See you next week.